Well, good evening and welcome to the IslandStats.com English Premier and Bermuda Overseas Players Show here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is none other than co-host Antoine Augustus, as well as co-host Jason Juglin J. Ford. Season's greetings, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Yes, to you guys' families.
Yes. Well, let me just quickly run down Let me just quickly run down the results from this weekend in the Premier Division. It was Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, Southampton 0, Leicester City 0, Wolves 3, Manchester United 0, Bournemouth 3, Tottenham Hotspurs 3, Liverpool 6, Aston Villa 2, Manchester City 1, Brentford 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Ipswich Town 0, Newcastle 4, West Ham United 1, Brighton Hove Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 5. Well, those are the results from this past weekend. Let me ask you, I'll start with you, Antoine. Which result of all this past weekend was one that raised your eyebrows to say, well, that was a shocker? You got to unmute, Antoine.
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Did you hear the question?
What was the question?
The question was, which one of the results this past weekend was a eye-opener or a shocker for you?
Hold on one second. I think City's used to losing by now. Manchester United's used to losing by now.
But what was the shocker for you?
Leicester City, I would say. Leicester City, I'm shocked. I thought Leicester City would have came out with that result against Wolves. Honestly, I really felt that Leicester City was on the upcline.
Well, two clubs
got two managers.
Two managers. Yeah.
Yes, and they're both fighting for that salvation in the Premiership.
Yeah.
I think Leicester City and Leicester City was the team that I thought would have at least a draw. At least I would have never thought they would have lost that big.
Juggler, what about you? Which one was the shocker for you?
I probably leaning to agree with Antoine there, because when you look at going into the match, Wolves were 5 points behind Leicester City, who's in 17th place, right? So they just got edged them up just a little bit closer. The Chelsea, Everton, you could possibly see that because it's rivals of some sort, right? The 0-0 with Fulham and Southampton, expected. I didn't think to see a big score like that, 6-3 with Poole and Spurs.
Right.
That was probably the scoreline was surprising. But I'll tell you what's really surprising me, and I don't know about you guys, because I'm waiting for the fall, is Forest.
They continue to surprise everybody.
We continue winning, right? And that's the we keep saying, are they the Leicester? Could they be the Leicester of a few years?
Yes.
Years ago, everybody's expecting them to lose, and then they didn't lose, right?
Right.
I put that in perspective, and I'm going to probably refer to this table quite often tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, at this point of the season, and that's just getting into Christmas, Nottingham Forest was in 17th place with 14 points. Right? So they was on the verge of all year about to go down.
Get relegated. That's right.
They're relegated, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This year, going into Christmas, they're in 4th place with 31 points. So they have doubled the points tally.
It'd be interesting to find out how many points they finished with last season.
I'll find out for you before.
Yeah.
I'll find out. Give me a few
because
minutes.
clearly they've already surpassed that.
Well, they doubled it already, right? And that's my point. It's
anything now is a bonus.
Anything, they're already in the bonus. What are you talking about? The chance of them not going down is a bonus, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're 30 is normally that 25 to 30 is normally that range.
Right.
So,
right.
When you look at Wolves right now, halfway in, they only got 12 points. Them and Ipswich have 12 points.
Right.
So the 25-30 is going to be that mark of, obviously somebody's going to be way below, but that's going to be that mark.
Yeah.
And I say
they average 22 points going down.
Even if you look at, and I just want to draw attention to, like I said, Liverpool going into the Christmas with 39 points. Last year it was Arsenal going into the Christmas break with 40 points. Right?
Yeah,
Liverpool was second with 39 points.
Right.
The exact same thing.
But they had played how many games though?
18.
Right.
So they have one more game to play.
Well, Liverpool's got 2 to make it 18.
Liverpool's got 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. Even if you look at somebody like City, who's got 34, they had 34 last year.
Right.
At this point, they have 27. All right. So these are the things that, like, or even Arsenal has 33. City won it last year, went on a run. Remember?
Yeah, the second half. Yeah.
So
don't go in on a run right now. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, every team has it, Earl. I mean,
well, everybody. I mean, it's been enough talk about they've had the run. They've had a good inning. The unfortunate thing for them now is they've gotten old and injuries have crept in, and there's no way to stop the rot with the current team they have. They need the January window to open Christmas Day.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't think if you go back 3 months, right? I think you guys could probably agree with me. You could look at the bench and says, "Oof."
They was in trouble.
Look, no, I'm saying when he looked at the bench, but 3 months ago, you can name 4 or 5 guys that could come on and make a difference.
Right.
Right now, you don't know who to turn to because nobody making a difference.
Yeah. If you look at it, the beat up, the older, the touch slower, and whenever things are not going your way, boss, the ball just don't bounce your way.
And bear in mind, I think also another year that other teams have been able to
figure you out. Yeah. Because even Pep says, as well as even Tottenham's manager says it now, and he says it openly. I'm not going to change the style we play.
Nope.
Because they've worked so long at it. If they try to change it in the middle of the season, it could actually be worse than what it is. You talked about the Liverpool Tottenham game, the scoreline, but in the last, they done a graphic yesterday. In the last 4 games that Tottenham's been involved in, it's been 30 goals. So it's either they hit or they miss. But yesterday was the first time they've lost by more than 1 goal in these big losses or these big wins.
Yeah, I also looking at the injuries for a team like Arsenal.
Oh yeah. They've lost Saka for quite some time now. And when the last time he was out, that's when they began to struggle. They drew a few games. They struggled with scoring goals. The good thing now, I think that Jesus has found the boots that he needed out of the closet, albeit he scored them against Crystal Palace. But as you know, Juggler, when the guy starts scoring, the confidence comes.
Well, I took a sneak peek of the fixtures coming up. Ipswich, away to Brentford, away to Brighton. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That takes you to the second week. That's January 4th.
Right.
But after that, guys, it gets a little sticky for Arsenal in the sense that you have the Carabao Cup, they have Newcastle on the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
On the 12th, they have United for the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 15th, they have Tottenham in the league.
Yeah. What do you concentrate on? What do you concentrate on?
And also on the 18th, they have Villa.
Oh boy.
Villa.
And Villa are firing on all cylinders, surprising everybody as well. They're your sleeping giants as well, aren't they?
Yep. And Champions League after that. So it's gonna be that
first part of the year, by the end of this year and the first part of the year is gonna be rough. Yeah, Antoine.
They'll have a break when they play Manchester United. I'm sorry.
Hey, can't argue.
What type of supporter are you, man?
Earl, you one of your teams is the exact same. You gotta try just to close your eyes.
That's it. Just close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
And I said, not to go on Manchester United, but and I said to my coworkers yesterday, I said I should have went church. That's the reason why Manchester United lost. But Arsenal, yes, I think Arsenal is that time's the slip. Really, is gonna be very interesting for Arsenal. What about Liverpool? Liverpool's next few games should be interesting as well.
But if you look at Liverpool, I mean, Liverpool's getting goals from all sorts of different players right now. It's not, I mean, everybody's got their eyes on Salah. Yeah, he's scoring regularly, but the amount of different guys that are scoring for them, it kind of makes the whole team a threat.
To be honest with you, I just believe that midfield is just playing at a high level right now. The midfield, that's the engine right now. I mean, Van Dijk is doing good to Marshall, the back line.
Right.
Trent and Robertson just still, for me, a little bit inconsistent. Trent could be as good as any right back in the league, but then the next day it's like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
We can get at him. I mean, just knowing that a team like Real Madrid might be looking at him, right? That's no slouch, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Liverpool behind the scenes has a lot to worry about as well, because as you talked about, they have 3 players on the verge of running out of contracts at the end of the year, and you talk about Van Dijk, you talk about Trent Alexander, and you talk about Mo Salah. What do they do with these 3, and do they have enough in the kitty to make sure that they can try and keep them at least for another year or 2?
Well, who would you keep, bro?
Who would I keep?
Yeah. Based on the age.
If it's 2 or 3. I mean, you mean 2 out of the 3?
Based on the age.
I'm keeping the central defender, because that's your backbone, and I'm keeping the guy that's scoring the goals.
Yeah, Salah, and I'm with you. Salah and Van Dijk. That's my 2 people.
That's
as well. So you're gonna get rid of the youngster.
Well, see, the thing is, the youngster, you can always get him back, because he's been with the club since he's been 6 years old.
And we just talked about City players are 1 year later.
Yeah, but right,
not as good as they was last year.
Right, but the thing is, what you want to do is make sure that you have that center cover.
I got you.
Giving them the time to work into the system, as well as getting somebody else to make sure that they're consistently scoring goals like Salah is as your front runner. Because like you indicated, sometimes you don't even know if Trent Alexander's seen a football before in the way he plays.
I think actually, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I really feel that Salah's gonna leave anyway. I don't think he wants to stay in Liverpool. If Liverpool wins the league, I think he's out. But
that contract will be sorted long before that.
I if it's not sorted out now, it's not sorted out. Like
It's
honestly,
going to
I
be
feel.
sorted before he goes to African Nations Cup.
Are you sure? Honestly, I really
Liverpool
feel
be
like Salah's
stupid
going
to
to be
go
good.
into February. Liverpool will be stupid to go into February without making a statement whether they're going to do it or not. One or the other. They can't keep people hanging.
That's if his team wants to come to the table. It takes two.
Yeah. Well,
But also, I agree because they don't want to have a repeat of
The money.
what's his name that left 2 seasons ago. So
money.
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah, I guess they don't want to have a repeat of that. Like just player just leave. But Liverpool, honestly, this is one thing that I like about Liverpool, and I'm sorry for saying this as a Manchester fan. Club laugh, and they're still like gelling. They're still like you wouldn't if you look at the bench, if you look at them how they're playing, put it that way, you wouldn't think that Club laugh like Club has gone. Like they are still gelling, they're still doing what they have to do. They even doing above what they were doing last season with Club. So honestly, they're hitting everything, and honestly, like they might get that 20 Premiership that title. Honestly, they didn't get it this year. Like you said, they got about 2 games. They got about 2 games.
And they're leading. One player that Liverpool is has to the I should say to the expense because he's injured quite a lot. But when he's not injured, he's always scoring. And it's Jota.
And his back now.
Well, he's got a little nick too. So
yeah.
I don't know how many games he could play. I don't know how many games he could even start.
Right.
But it seems like every time he touches the field, he finds the net. So that could be something where when Salah does go, he fills in.
He fills in, yeah.
But I just think once again, to win the league, your best players have to be on the field
for majority of the season.
Majority of the season. I don't care what any team. If you take Van Dijk and Mo Salah out of that Liverpool team,
they become a different team.
We saw Arsenal without Saliba, they fall. We saw Arsenal even without Odegaard, they fall. Right. So you take Chelsea. If Chelsea was to lose Palmer and one of the center halves, they will fall. Like it's you have to have that lock, right?
Lock rides, as they say, lock rides with the champions.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see a video of ref call during the Tottenham-Liverpool game that came under heavy dispute. Clearly during the game, but after the game, because it was reviewed by the VAR guys sitting somewhere else, not at the field, and it was too late to stop the game again. But we'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons. You seeing this?
This holiday season, Lindo's is making shopping easier than ever. Introducing Drop It's fresh new website launching December 3rd. Shop your favorite Lindo's grocery online anywhere on the island and have them delivered right to your door. This year, stay fresh for the holidays with Drop It. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tailed fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, called the Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 135 years, it's been clear, the silence for the Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
And welcome back. Well, as we all know, similar to the NFL, the English Premier Division has set up their VAR in one location. As we know, a few weeks ago, a match had to stop for a few minutes because there was a fire report at the location where the VAR network is set up. And then it came on yesterday during the Liverpool Spurs game. There was an incident where Liverpool had scored a goal, which was ruled offside. And the discussion between the VAR guys and then the communication between them and the referee was all mixed up. And by the time it was realized that the match had restarted, obviously them trying to stop it, it became a false thing. But I have to say, I had on another show, Referee's Corner, I spoke to a referee who also does the VAR as well, and I asked him about the time that you have to decide whether or not you go back and look at something, and his indication was, regardless, whenever there's that break in play, you have that look to see what happened, and you go back to it, because you can always take the time back to where that incident took place, and then you restart the clock from there again. But obviously, let's get the viewing of what took place, and then we'll discuss it ourselves.
Both holding.
Yeah. Leave it though.
Waiting, delaying. Delaying.
Yes.
Give it.
Coming back for the offside, mate.
Just checking the offside, delay. Give me kick point. Let's go.
Yep.
Kick point,
Yeah,
please.
So here we are.
Wait, okay.
Just get a tight angle.
Yeah, give me 2D line ready after as well for frame 2
so
after that. That's fine.
Frame 2 there.
Perfect.
I've got the time on this. I clock
2D line on left boot.
Yep. Well, let me just
Romero,
switch angles. I think it might be this angle better.
Hey.
Happy with this angle?
You organise, you don't,
Yep.
yeah?
2D line on the boot.
2D line on the boot.
Yep. Okay.
Wait, no, wait.
So 2D line on the boot.
And
I'll
stop.
zoom
Check
in.
complete. Check complete. It's fine. Perfect.
Yeah.
Off.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Wait.
Good process,
On-field
carry on.
decision was offside. Are you happy with this?
Yeah.
Are you happy with this?
Offside
On-field
goal. Yeah. That's
Now
what
wait.
it does.
On-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this image?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, onside. The image we gave you is onside.
Left back.
He's played. He's
Yeah.
gone offside.
Delay.
Clear.
Ollie's saying to delay. Ollie's saying to delay.
Red throw. Red throw.
Pardon?
Ollie's calling in to say delay the game. To complete. The decision is offside.
Can't do anything.
Ollie's saying to delay.
Ollie?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Delay the game. To delay the game. Stop the game.
They've restarted the
Nothing
game.
from on the field.
Can't do
Yeah,
anything.
they've restarted. Yeah.
Can't do anything.
No.
I can't do anything. I
Right
can't do
back.
anything.
Well, there you have it. To be honest, let's go to the referee, Juggler. Let's go to the referee and get his opinion on that scenario, what took place.
It's a lot of explosive words. No, honestly, like I've always said, the referee on the field has a couple of seconds, and in VAR can look over it over and over again. But the game must go on. So you have to constantly continue doing VAR, turning back around and saying, stop the game. Yeah. I'm not put it away, I'm not a believer in VAR. I'm gonna tell you straight up as a fan. But as an official, it's heartbreaking. I've had the privilege of like having the earpieces on. Mind you, we didn't have the VAR, but to have constantly in your ear and trying to concentrate on the play, but you also have the earpiece and you're listening and you're trying to hear what they're also saying. So it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's a very interesting and a good thing to do. Like it's very, very, what's the word I'm trying to say? I enjoyed it. But yeah, that offside play. I think he scored. Did he score or take the goal away?
He scored.
Yeah. So I think it was a good call. It was good that the VAR had pointed it out. I think it was the AR also. He was saying offside, or he wasn't too sure. If I recall at the beginning, he wasn't too sure. So that made VAR to step in and say, let's take a look at this. But yeah, I think it's I think it should have. It was a good call.
Yeah. Juggler, what's your take?
Well, I think you guys know by now how I feel about VAR and why we have it.
Yeah.
But I will say, but since we do have it,
Mm-hmm.
can't ignore it.
Right.
No.
You can't ignore it. Okay.
Right.
And I said that the NFL made a decision a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember, where coaches had used up their chances to
their challenges. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then they see, for instance, after they had no more chances to get it. At the end of the game, there was a bad decision. There could have been a return.
Yes.
So what the NFL done says, any scoring plays, I think in the last 2 minutes or so.
2 minutes, yeah. 2 minutes, yeah.
No, without any challenges.
Right.
Every scoring play.
Yeah, they will review it themselves.
Yeah. There's a reason why they done that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because it affects the
outcome of the game. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So even if it's a slight adjustment to EPL or every scoring should be automatically reviewed.
Right. The problem that I had,
and I understand, because obviously I don't like VAR because, like Antoine, you made it earlier, as a fan, you want the game to keep going, right? Even players want to keep playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'd rather just, you know what, hey, okay, just like the other day with the call that went against Man United in the cup games, no VAR, right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what it is. Human error, that's what it is. But since you have VAR, you have the equipment. Now you're telling me, well, we have the equipment, we see what's wrong,
and you still don't fix it.
Correct. Yeah. To me, VAR, and just like you said, the NFL has it. Cricket, I might believe cricket has it.
Yeah.
The NBA now has VAR.
Tennis, remember tennis when it first started?
Yeah.
Yes, tennis. So it's, to me, honestly, and I'm a believer. Like, I feel that the United States is now putting their hands into it. It's because every sport that I've said, yes, money. I was gonna say that as well. Every sport that I've said is all American sports, and all American sports have VARs or have, besides cricket, because they play cricket. If you're playing cricket in America, you're not from America. You're not American. But
You have a passport. You have a passport. They give
a passport. Yes.
Well, it's in the Olympics in America, so
yeah.
So, and they in the
But
Americans
so,
put it in there.
honestly, VAR. And the thing about it is like back then, I don't know how bad it is now because I'm not even watching the VAR situation. But remember, VAR was in the Premier League. It was terrible. Like, you are supposed to be the top-notch league, and you can't even get VAR correct. And that's why English Premiership referee, former English referee, was doing in CONCACAF VAR courses, had to literally go back to England and say, "Look, let me help you out."
Right,
because yes, VAR and CONCACAF, yes, we got it. We've got it down notch. Because for the help of Howard Webb. So now Howard Webb has now gone back to England and showed them the correct way of using VAR.
Well, clearly they got it wrong yesterday.
Yeah, clearly.
The one thing I took note of was the amount of talk going on.
Yes.
As not when the while the play was going on, I didn't worry about that. It was the talk once the goal was scored, and then they were reviewing it. There were obviously one had to be, as you have already said, was the lines with the referee assistant, and then it was 3 other voices going on, and they were going back and forth, and the communication was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear noises in the background, and I'm not talking about the fan noise. I'm talking about in the VAR room, you could hear other noises going on as well. It just did not. And then for him to say, "Oh, I can't do nothing about it now. I can't do nothing about it now." If they have the option of restarting the game from the point of where the infraction took place, they could stop the game at any time and go back and say that goal was scored in the 13th minute. I don't care if the clock then was reading 16 minutes. The goal stands because he wasn't offside, and you go back to the 13th minute of the game, and then you restart the game because the game's going to restart from a center kick. So that's if the VAR is there for that reason, then they, regardless of what happens, the fans will eventually understand with public announcement that there was an error made and they've corrected the error. And if you look at it in the MLS, they've started with their VAR replays. The referee does what the NFL referee does. He now comes back on the field and goes on the loudspeaker and explains what the call was, why the call is made, and then now everybody's informed, whether you like it or not, everybody's informed, and now play resumes.
Also, Antoine, and I think I think there's going to be some changes because when you have these type of situations like this, and we've mentioned before, no accountability to that incident, right? Who's no accountability when it comes to the officials there, right?
Right.
So now the word comes back into the ugly word comes back into referee corruption. No. Obviously, it needs to be founded that it was corruption, but you know what I'm saying? That starts to creep in because fans are very fanatic when it comes to stuff like that. Any call that goes against them, they're gonna think the whole world's against them. It's a conspiracy.
Right.
Stuff like that leads to that, right? Because how come Antoine always gets the call and I don't get the call?
Yeah.
So Earl, like you saying, why is that communication of telling folks this is what's happened? Here it is. This is the call. But to have it and say, okay, we've made a mistake. Oh well, we can't do nothing. No.
Yeah.
That's gonna have to change.
Yeah. And as they've indicated, they can go back because that's what the VAR does for them. It allows them to see the time of the incident, whatever, and you take it back to that time.
Well, the counter argument to that, and you hear it all the time. You heard it in all sports too, right? The time that it's going to take the time the games can be stopped. Well, I didn't think anything was worse. World Cup, when you had +9 extra minutes.
Yeah. Sometimes 11.
+10, 11.
Yeah.
And then instead start up
injury
the league
time.
and you get no more than 6 minutes. Now, where this mystery 5 other minutes came from about a major injury, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
My math ain't math. I'm sorry. I nobody knew math, but my math was math.
I think they got rid of that. They got rid of that very fast.
The average World Cup game been 99 minutes. 99 minutes at least.
In the heat.
Yeah. Without no water breaks.
So I don't want to hear no noise about it's going to take this time and that time.
Yeah.
Get it right. That's what players want you to get it right. They might not like it, but get it right.
If it's for the if it's for the right reasons, eventually everybody will agree to it. Whether it goes against them or goes for them, they'll agree to because they got it right.
Okay, Earl, let's both of you guys. Let's go back. Mm-hmm. You guys coming up, backyard ball or a Sunday kick or whatever, right? And you only got a guy who can referee. You ain't got no linesman.
Yeah.
You know a guy that's offside.
Oh yeah.
Ref didn't see it. You didn't see it.
Yeah.
But you might not like it, but you'll talk about it after the game. You'll talk about it the next game. You have a lot. You know what I'm saying? But that's you understand it because there's nothing in place for that, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Even yard kicks were just kicks. If you got fouled, you called a foul. Either the guy, everybody stopped, say, yeah, that was a foul, or you keep playing. Nah, that wasn't a foul. You done this, you done that, and you move on. You just keep playing.
Well, so Earl, let's take it a step further locally. I'm going to say locally, right?
Mm.
Then you start having linesmen who are affiliated with teams.
Yes.
And someone do this now. You got
I ain't putting the flag up.
I said to not do those games. Am I right, Antoine?
Yes.
Everything that looked close, I'm putting the flag up because you scored against my team.
and why? Because you guys are getting accused of, you guys.
Yeah. Trust me, them games are very hard to referee. Very hard to referee.
You guys could be short. Remember, Earl, once upon a time, Earl, we got somebody from each team go grab the line.
Yeah, one of these substitutes, man.
That ain't happening no more.
No, sir.
Because you knew if you had to run the line, you wasn't gonna play today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That too.
Definitely.
That too.
Yeah.
No, but the law of the game, like you all know, it has changed. It goes, yearly it gets changed, it gets better. Players are now, they got players now. Back then, I was a player that's playing at 40 years old professionally. You got Cristiano Ronaldo, 38, 39, still playing football professionally at a high level. So now, you have to, referees back then didn't have that much basically, training to do. Now referees have to train hard, to keep up with the play, to keep up with technology, to keep up with everything. As far, like I said, I'm saying technology, I honestly, I say 20 years, 25 years, referees are going to be extinct and you got BAR or robots running around doing the game. What you got to do is say, ref, take a look at this, and then he just takes a look, stops the game.
But the problem with that is they'll probably be able to do it in certain leagues, but it wouldn't be a FIFA ruling.
No,
because
the expense.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they've come up with less expensive VAR systems, but theirs are still too expensive for amateur clubs. Yeah.
Well, just amateur clubs. And even if you look at it, Antoine, and we heard even in Bermuda when it comes to cricket, right? You look at the EPL or even English, a lot of these clubs are old. So the infrastructure.
Yeah.
To say that's like you just can't put 20 cameras up anywhere.
Right.
I know there's 20 outlets in the club, maybe. You know what I'm saying? You know how sometimes it is. We're just trying to find power on the
Yeah.
right.
Wi-Fi
is not
fire extension cords.
You know, so but in saying that it's the technology, obviously it's moving, it's growing. To use wireless systems. But once again, I hate to say this here, wireless system, you get somebody, you get these computer geeks, they can get in there.
Yeah.
Do a thing on you too, right? So I don't know how far they want to really get on a network, because any network, you know, I hate to say this here, they can get in, right?
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting how they go forward with this, but I know they're gonna have to make a change because this is not it.
Remember back then, I can't remember what year the World Cup was. Was it in England? No, it wasn't in England. Somewhere, Brazil. The ball, every time the ball goes into the goal, the referee would look at his watch.
Oh, it was a watch, yeah.
Where is that? You don't see that.
They still have it. They still have it. The buzzer goes off.
Okay.
They still have it. The buzzer goes off in the watch.
Chelsea saved every weekend. Who saved?
Yes.
Was this weekend? Yes, I did. Yes. I think it was.
It never rained.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I like you said, some like not even just small little. I'm gonna say it's clubs, countries. Like for when we play our World Cup, honestly, I'm said it a number of times. Bermuda would be so far ahead if we had VAR or that type of technology at Philadelphia Stadium. How many times Nicky Wells has scored a goal or somebody has scored a goal and it's been disallowed because the AR is not fast enough to get to the line and call it. You know, jogging like you said last week, you had 3 AR referees up in the box that say, no, that was a goal. That was a goal. No, he was offside. So trust me.
But Antoine, you saying that, right? You saying that, and let's play, devil's advocate here, right? That's the balance that even BFA and even the Referees Association, like, the finances that you guys have, where do you allocate them to? Do you allocate them to technology, or you allocate them to development for these courses, right? And for the national team, you'd rather say, let's get some practice games in this, or we're going to allocate this money to VAR that you might get 1 or 2 decisions out of a season, or 3 decisions out of a season. That doesn't cost you anywhere up 50 to 100 grand. Easy. Right? So it's personally, it's never good. I don't ever see it happening to our small countries ever, because we don't have the money, or we're going to have to sacrifice development. And I'm pretty sure most countries are not going to give up. That's a hard sell to the public.
Without a doubt.
1 or 2 decisions that might go your way, and it might not go your way.
Not exactly. Might go against you.
And how many of our outside systems stay active when you only use them? How many times you play at home? So it's gonna be sitting there. It'll be sitting there,
like sitting up there. So
Yep.
So
we already see the rust up at the stadium because
look up. Look up and our stadium's looking like Old Trafford.
Yeah.
You got rain underneath.
Earl, just done some check up on you, Earl. You asked a question about Nottingham Forest. What did they end up last year? 17th place on 32 points.
So the 1 point off of that. 1 point off of what they have.
And hold on, Earl. Guess what, Earl? Remember, halfway is 19 games.
Yeah.
Right, because it's 38 games in the season. So
that's right. So
they can actually
surpass that, in the next 2 games. That's right.
What was City's halfway point when they got 100?
That year was 20.
What, 2 years ago?
22? Give me a second. Because last year they ended up with 91. Yeah, last year was 91. Give me a second. Yeah. I think. But was that 21-22 season?
don't know. I think it was about 2-3 seasons ago.
Yeah. They won 4 in a row, so that's and it was one of them. 21.
So my question is, while he's looking at Jason's looking at
2018.
2018?
2018 when they got 100 points.
2018, 2019?
Yeah.
So
what's your question to that?
So my question is, for the past few years, Arsenal has been sitting at the top, at the halfway point. And they're, as you know, they didn't win the league. Liverpool is now halfway point, but Liverpool's got a lead. Do you feel that Liverpool is going to keep that lead and win the league? I already said it.
I don't want to be a historian. I don't want to be a historian, but I've seen Liverpool be at this point at Christmas and not to make Champions League either. So this year, if you was a betting man, it'd be a good bet. Be a good bet.
Current form, yeah, it'd be a good bet.
But you still have another 20-odd games to go.
Yeah, that's just league. They still have all these cups.
And they got all these cups. And they got Champions League. So
they're still in the.
And as we've already indicated, you're just an injury away from most of this stopping. We've seen it with other teams.
And then
one injury, and you realize at some point in time, some of these players are going to have to get a rest.
Actually, Salah should be leaving in January, February.
Yeah.
So think of it like this, Antoine. Think of it like this. I'll give both for you. How long you guys feel Liverpool's been dominant, or at least knocking on the door? How many years?
Since they last won the title, 5 years.
No, just how many years? How many years you think they've been knocking on the door?
5.
5. And that's when they won the title 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So just leave that. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. And Arsenal,
Yeah.
2001, 2002. So that's.
Well, let's take this commercial break. Let's take this commercial break. When we come back, let's jump into our local overseas players, what they were able to do this weekend. We'll be right back.
Over the pink sands, beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, it's silence proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
This holiday season, we gather with grateful hearts to celebrate the gifts of family, friends, and faith. Lindo's is here to help you fill your home with warmth and joy, from traditional holiday dishes to festive treats that make every gathering special. However you celebrate, let's help make it memorable. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, gentlemen, over the weekend, you had Cole Hall scoring for Chorleytown in their 2-1 win over Keziah Martin and his Russell Olympic FC teammates, Rozier Smith-Jones and Coolidge Fubler. They played for Binfield. They went down 3-1. Rozier scoring the lone goal for Binfield, and Harry Twite playing for Loughborough Students FC. They picked up a 2-1 win over Coles Hill Town FC. Milan Butterfield and his Brasford United teammates went down 4-1. Kane Critchlow and his Chelmsford City teammates, they played to a scoreless draw. Willie Clemens scored in his team's 2-1 come from behind win, and Reggie Lamb, they went, and his Needham Market FC teammates fell 1-0 to Darlington. Those were the only guys that played this weekend. Nikki Wells was out of Bristol City's team with an injury. Yesterday's 3-0 West Brom match, and David Bascom's Baltimore Blast picked up a 6-3 win over Harrisburg Heat yesterday afternoon in Harrisburg after losing to Milwaukee Wave on Friday night 5-4. But looking at some of these results, and obviously these guys are going to have an action-packed, especially the UK guys have an action-packed few games coming up, because even in the non-league, they play over the Christmas break, just like the Premier, Championship, and First Divisions play as well.
Yeah, you're quite right with that. I was glad to see that Dale was able to get a game the other day in the Cup game, and make some saves during the penalty.
Yeah.
But then again, not hearing his name being called today, still have concerns because he's our number one goalkeeper. So as fans, we want to make sure that our top players are playing for the national side, and playing is playing. Like anybody will know, training fit and game shape is two different.
Yeah. Well, the good thing,
not only physically, too, but also mentally, right? Mentally. Game too, right?
Talk about Dale. Let the next 9 fixtures for his team are going to be December 26th, which is Boxing Day, December 28th, January 1st, January 4th, January 7th, January 11th, January 14th, January 18th, and January 25th. So in 1 month, they will play 9 games, guaranteed. He's going to have to feature in something somewhere along the line.
Every 3 days.
Yeah.
What's that third? That's semi-pro.
There's non-league in the UK, but they're getting something. They're getting paid. Yeah, so that they're going to be very active, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the other non-league clubs will probably have a similar schedule, because throughout the end of November or mid-November through early December, a lot of games were rained out due to the storm they were having that hung around over like a 3-week period, where some of the teams didn't play for almost a month. So these are either makeup games fitted into the schedule, and it's early in the year as well. So obviously, as you've indicated, Juggler, you want somebody like Dale to be active, because Bermuda have a very active international calendar in 2025.
Yeah.
Yep. Very active.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Earl, talking about that, can you get an update for the next show? Obviously, you work at the U17 tournament that we're going to be hosting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get just an update of some of the players that are going to be probably featured in that? Just so we can give our the listeners and the viewers some players to keep an eye on, rather than in college or obviously someone being viewed in college, but just see where they're at and how they're doing, even locally, because I think that's something that I think we need to do locally is really highlight and get to know our players before these tournaments. We always get to see the team a week or a couple of days before the actual tournament, before the actual game. It'll be nice that the fans are able to go out there and get shirts made up of the players, and get to know who's in the 20. So obviously, if we could follow some of these players prior to the tournament, I think we'll do not only Bermuda well, but just the fans to come out to support, right? At least they know who they're supporting and get their families together. So the next few weeks, can we just get some, just start looking at some guys who should be in that setup?
Yeah, we could possibly do that.
And even get the coach on. Even get the coach on, and they could probably help us out to tell us who some of these players are.
Yeah. But as we know, Juggler, sometimes we don't even know the senior men's team until the wait for 3 days who's actually in the team and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll make an effort to.
We have to know what the training squad is at least. Okay, Earl. We have to.
Didn't even put that out there. Didn't even put that in.
So once again, we have to, like I said, let's try to let's be proactive, because once again, we want our stadiums to be. We want to have a home field advantage. It's probably one of the reasons why we want to host, right? We want a home field advantage. Well, if it ain't home field, if nobody knows.
Yeah.
No, and you're right, Juggling. You're right, but like you said, I'm sorry. You hit the nail right on the coffin. It's like sometimes you hear the team, especially the female team, that they're going to wait to a tournament. Then the Dominican Republic, that's somewhere in Cuba. Like, what? Mm-hmm. When did we Bermuda start playing? Like, when did the women's competition? Like, when is the national team? Like, we don't know. Sometimes, yes, we don't know. Sometimes we get the team list as the board in the plane in LFA. It's honestly, and look, yeah,
I'm not asking for the 11. I'm not even asking for the 16.
No, it's not the 11. It's not the 11. It's like I was saying, you don't even know who the team. You don't know who the 20
been invited to train.
Invited to train.
But Juggler makes a good point. Juggler makes a good point. What we can do is invite the coach. We can invite the coach and get an idea of what the preparation will look like and who he's hoping to. Yeah.
I think the coach is what? Sikoy? Is the coach Sikoy or is it?
He was Lugo.
Lugo, yes.
Right.
I wouldn't say Lugo or Sikoy.
Yeah, Aaron is the coach. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's
no worries. We can work on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some other ideas too that we can help out, but hey, I'll sit back.
We always have ideas. It's a matter of having that.
I know. I tell you one of the ideas, and Tom Sprague heard me say it a few times up in the booth, right? Earl. So when we have these international games, we have the game being streamed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cameras are on the side of the grandstand, facing what side?
The empty side.
Facing, yeah, exactly. Now, it's two ways you do that. You either put the cameras on the other side facing grandstand, or let's be creative. The kids who are in the academies, let's let them in free on the other side.
That's been talked about over and
over. Like I said, I know what has been talked about.
Over and over and over and over.
But if we're talking about having a home field advantage, right? We're not losing any money over there. I mean, making any money over there. We're not losing any money over there if it's nobody over there.
Yeah.
Right? No, okay, I'm sorry. Actual gay people. I'm sorry, yes. Few security here and there.
Honestly, I remember, I'll give you a story. I remember one time I traveled with the national team and we went to French Guiana. And French Guiana, back then you had to travel from Miami, Haiti, every French speaking to get to French Guiana. We got to French Guiana. French Guiana, we were beating them 1-0, I believe. Damien Mings go 1-0, and a downpour because it was the rainy season.
Yeah.
We came back. We had to. They wanted us to finish the game that morning, but we couldn't because we had to come back and play Dominican Republic because literally Dominican Republic was here in Bermuda,
right,
sitting here waiting for us.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we came back to play Dominican Republic. Like I said, Dominican Republic's been sitting here training and ready for us. They beat us. They did beat us. But honestly, I to say that is like I remember every time we had played Dominican Republic. Yes, the stadium. It looks like we're playing in Dominican Republic. It's so much Dominican fan base than Bermudian based. Oh. Am I right or am I wrong?
Bermudians only make noise when it's a girl scored. 9 times out of 10, we have this way about ourselves that we don't want somebody else to see us possibly having a good time or cheering on our team.
And you're right. It's like to me, in order for Bermudans, if we have a good result away and we're coming back home, we're gonna get a full stadium. If we have a terrible away result, 9 times out of 10, the stadium's not gonna get full on the grandstand side. It's gonna be struggling. The BFA is struggling to get tickets. And to me, as a Bermudian, it's especially I don't know about the players. It's like it's heartbreaking. It's like to come home like and hardly nobody's here to watch them. It's heartbreaking. And like I said, it's you have to Bermudians. We have to have a result. We have to do something before we even support.
So this is why I say to go after the young people, right? Along them in, because the young people is not going to be as fickle as like you said. Once we get older, we start getting more knowledgeable. We start looking at this person, that person. The young people just want to come. And Earl, I say this here because vividly in my mind, I remember going to the games up the stadium, and Mexico and these teams are kicking balls on the bank.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the score was. I'm running after the ball.
Yeah.
I could probably tell you what I ate for the concessions and everything else, and Slim and this popcorn and peanuts and everything else, right? But no, that lasted memory. Those kids now, they come back. They want to feel that same what they felt that day. They want to come back.
Yeah.
They want to bring when they get older, they want to bring the kids back, and introduce their kids. I'm not saying give up the grandstand because the grandstand should be the grandstand.
Yeah.
But as you say in any other sport, the cheap seats, hey, where you go? Make some noise.
Yeah, you already paid for the stadium. You might as well.
Test cricket on the islands. What they do? They let the schools out early.
That's right. Yeah.
They let school kids who ain't. It's Tess. Tess is one of the boringest things to watch. Make some noise. Give one noise maker.
Make it look like people are make it look like people are in the crowd.
Not only that, the players just want energy.
Yeah.
Players want energy.
Players, yes, they do. They really do. They live off the energy.
Yeah.
They live it up.
And the kids are not going to be dependent on what Bermuda done in a away game.
Yeah.
No.
They just want to see the game. They just want to see football.
They just want to be there and be.
Have you guys? I know Earl has seen it, but Jason, have you seen it? When the key comes to him and plays, and after the game, down by the locker room, that's a sight to see.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and it's not just like Nakeem brings them all, but the players, the other players, the youngsters again to see the other players like the Reggie.
I won't say it surprised me, but you know what I love to see? Last year when the ladies, all the little girls that were looking for signed jerseys, and that was something I say. So we have to build on that momentum. Like I said, the kids are not as fickle as adults when it comes to coming to the games and supporting, right?
Yeah. They don't care what the last result
They
was.
don't care. They don't even know who they're playing against. Probably they probably don't really care. They just want to know. Did we? My daughter just asked you, did we win? That's what she asked.
Yeah.
She couldn't tell you who's playing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no,
can I get a jersey? Do you have a jersey for me? Okay, I got your jersey. I had to fight for it too, but anyway, I got her jersey. But you know what I'm saying? But that's
and trust me, I honestly and look, that's something for the marketing committee of the BFA to put their heads together and go with, you know,
but
like you said.
But it is as simple as Juggler said. It's not rocket science. It's
not.
It's your academy players. All your players in your academy. They can actually and the easiest thing to do at the association for game night. Everybody meet in the parking lot of the association and we walk across because we're using that gate to go in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To fill up the side of the non-grandstand.
Yeah.
Simple as
I think a couple of years ago we did the fans in. Remember the fans in? Everybody would go have the party over by the pavilion. Once the pavilion, it's like you just came over and it was like the ticket to get in for the fans in was the other side, the playing side.
Yeah.
So everybody was basically going straight around to go straight to the other side, and you filled up that side because everybody was, you know, we Bermudians love to drink, so we wanted to, you know, go to the fans in and enjoy ourselves and then come over. So that was I don't know what happened with that, but that was a good. I know that wasn't the BFA. That was somebody.
That was independent. Yeah, that was independent. Yeah, I mean, Earl, even to something, and I know they've done this the last couple of times, I believe, with the guys, take them to a school.
Yeah,
that week, right? Okay, well, hey, that school gets to get in.
Yeah,
you know, like we don't have to reinvent the wheel here, right? And once again, your concessions make more money.
Yeah,
because kids are not gonna sit still just to watch football.
Not 90 minutes. They need soda. They need something.
So yeah, but it's like you said, the schools is like, and I gotta commend Cranston Williams. Cranston Williams is, you know, he's done a lot. He's actually I've been seeing him a lot. As basically when these boys come in, he calls them up and says, "Come to my school."
Right. He's led that charge for quite some time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying, "Come to my school." You like Dale Eve, like Nikki Rouse, like all them boys, like Reggie, Willie Clemens. He says, "Come to my school and come talk to my players. Come talk to my students." And honestly, I gotta commend Cranston Williams for that. You know, he's doing something. You know, as far as not just refereeing, but you know.
Antoine, and it's not just players too, Antoine.
No,
I think me and Earl's been invited.
Yeah. We've been
yeah. Mark, I think I'm seeing Mark invited. Yeah. But no,
finally, like.
Well, we know Mr. Williams Cranston. You can't say no to him.
And, you know, it's not. We were asked to come.
Asked to. You were told. And if you ain't showed up at the time he told you, he'll continue to call you.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we've come to the end, and we want to say Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. To our viewers, Merry Christmas. We'll be back next week with another edition. We'll work on hopefully getting Aaron the first week in the new year to talk about and try to hype up this under 17 that we'll be hosting. I believe it's February as well, so it gives us some time to work on that as well. So thank you for that, Juggler. We'll be back next week, Monday, with another edition of the English Premier and Bermuda Overseas Player Show. Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. Yes, be safe.